I don't believe it. How could I have done that? Oversleeping because my alarm clock broke? Nothing is going right, and it's not even 9 o'clock yet. This is insane. Well, all I can say is if I don't run into my soulmate when I turn that corner, I... Ow, I'm so sorry, Huh?
Excuse me. Are you okay?
He's so cool, so intelligent. Is this, could it be? Could it really be destiny? Ah! No! Of all things, why did the jam side have to land on my uniform? How can I be so unlucky? What is this, a curse? I'm doomed. This is a total disaster!
You are incorrect.
Huh?
Have you ever heard of Murphy's Law? It addresses everyday misfortune. Why does falling toast always land jam side down? Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. It's basically a humorous version of a natural law. However, an English researcher named Robert Matthews offered this counter-argument. He maintained that if you drop some toast from a table about 1 meter high, the statistical chances of the toast landing jam side down are very high, and he proved it using physics. Which means that this result is perfectly natural, scientifically speaking. So, it follows that you are not unlucky. Enjoy your time in high school.
What is with that nerd?
So, who's presenting today?
Himuro and I will. We're presenting our new research.
Plus, our B4 should be presenting sometime soon, too.
Tarasuke, you haven't been reading any papers, have you? The professor's gonna strangle you with his own hands.
He wouldn't really kill me, would he?
Today's the day all the researchers gather to hold a meeting. They're held every other Wednesday, and the Ikeda Kashin lab meetings go something like this, more or less.
Well, how about we get this meeting started, Bears?
Meeting startup is at 9 a.m. sharp. First, the professor makes some announcements.
Next month, we're going on a trip to Brisbane to make presentations, Bear.
Then those who want can present the findings of their latest research. When the presentation's all finished, we debate it a while. And once all the presentations are done, the meeting is finished.
Thanks, Bears. Later.
The professor's running late. Kanade, you called him, right?
Oh, yes, of course. He said he'd come right away.
He fell asleep again for sure.
What do you mean? He was awake 5 minutes ago.
Professor.
What is going on in there?
I'm so sorry about that. The sunlight was so warm, I must have drifted away. Please forgive me.
He really was asleep.
Well, let's get this meeting going, shall we?
Well, now I guess we can start the meeting if everybody's ready. Professor, do you have any special announcements?
Yes,
This is the master of the lab, Professor Ikeda Kashin. He's a little scary when he's angry, but he's actually a very kind teacher.
And listen up. It's also been decided that this summer we'll hold a 4-university joint training camp. It's scheduled for August. What were those dates again?
Supposedly the 19th to the 21st.
Oh, of course. Thank you very much. Having you around is such a great help, Ibarata.
Happy to help, Professor.
Ms. Ibarata often helps with the follow-up, since Professor Ikeda Kashin can be a little absent-minded at times.
Presentations will be given by the undergrads. So for our B4s Kanade and Kosuke, time's almost up. You need to pick your research themes by summer. By the way, Kanade, I heard that you were interested in the TSP problem. I gave you a few papers on that topic, so what did you make of them?
I'm still only partway through the second one, but I'm having a bit of a tough time.
Yes, it can seem a bit difficult at first.
TSP. TSP is a shorthand way of referring to the traveling salesman problem. I've already explained what it is, Bear, so if you really want to know, go back and watch episode 3 or read the first volume of the original thesis, Bear. So, today's term of the day is B4. What's this mysterious word that Professor Ikeda Kashin used with Kanade and the gang, Bear? It's a designation for school years often used in research labs, Bear. In English, an undergrad degree is called a bachelor's. You use the first letter of that word, B. So B4 is a fourth-year undergraduate student. Above that, you pick up the M from master's. Himuro and Yukimura are both first-year grad students, so they're M1s. So Ibarata is going to be an M2, okay, Bear? Finally, once you've completed your graduate degree, you reach the title of Master Bear! Study hard and become masters like those knights from a galaxy far, far away! Or lose yourself in a vortex of destruction and despair, Bear.
And you, Kosuke? Did you find something you like in any of those papers I sent you?
I really do want to read those papers, Professor, I swear. But the problem is my girlfriend just won't let me go and study in peace.
You have to choose, studying or me. Which is more important?
You haven't read even one of them?
That's right.
Not even a page?
No, sir.
Not even a word?
Not a one.
Kosuke? Aika is a very charming young lady. But let's do those assignments we were meant to do, shall we? Is that understood? I'm sorry!
Professor Cashin excels in both research and athletics, so when he's angry, his muscles tend to get bigger.
goodness,
but he's
I got
actually
an
a very kind
override my pen
teacher,
again.
usually.
Take this, Professor.
Professor, why don't we resume the meeting? If anyone has a presentation, please go ahead.
Professor, if it's okay, I'll present.
Wow, a joint presentation with Himuro, is that it? It was a polynomial time reduction last time, so I'm excited to see how much progress you've made.
First, if you'd please take a look at figure 1.1. This figure shows the circumstances during the date experiment we recently conducted.
I knew you two got along well, but, so you two are in that kind of relationship, are you?
Absolutely
Absolutely
not.
The genesis of this event lies in what happened the other day. And that's all. This date is one of the many experiments regarding different types of romance.
Uh-huh, I see. Well then.
I'll upload the revised data to our local server.
After a casual examination of the data, here's the experiment which garnered the greatest results. It was during the date experiment at precisely 2:22:42 p.m. I have assembled all of this data, and even I am unable to prove that I love her. The likes of you could never so casually declare your love. Yukimura was heard screaming these things. It was during that time that my fastest pulse rate, with a momentary peak of 162 BPM, was noted.
She's talking like she's handing out TV viewership ratings.
Himuro, why you? Was it really necessary to write out every single word I said?
Of course. Otherwise, it wouldn't accurately convey the conditions.
Then I should certainly share a few notes of my own. My highest heart rate was recorded here at 6:47 p.m. You remember on the Ferris wheel, with the sunset creating that romantic background. This is the number of times I was happy and had fun today, in total 1,925 times. It's an exponential increase, were her words. Even now, in this moment, is what she said.
Oh, you're killing us over here, too.
It was in this situation that my highest pulse rate of the day was recorded, after which the experiment was abandoned.
So, this is what you're considering as a presentation? Yukimura, what about your polynomial time reduction thesis?
I apologize, Professor. You see, I'm planning that separately. But as I determine the paucity of reliable data to be the more pressing issue...
You're absolutely right! This research topic is super interesting!
He bought it.
Despite the risk of sounding smug, I was confident you would say that.
Wow, the base conditions for determining the state of love. When I married my wife, this never even occurred to me in my wildest dreams. Any thoughts on some future experiments?
Well, based on the sampling, a large-scale controlled experiment. To determine the base conditions of love, we need to gather as much data as possible so we can find an average. For example, with this experiment, given the circumstances in the picture, we checked our vital stats in the data provided by the emotion counters. However,
It would seem you might need more subjects besides yourselves for this experiment, and as many of them as you can get.
by way of providing a clarifying example, there are 6 people in this room. Out of the 6 of us, 15 combinations of groups of 2 are possible, which means that just within this lab, it's possible to run a total of 15 experiments.
What? You can't possibly mean all of them.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Kanade's particularly valuable as a specimen as she's closest to the median. Your participation is vital.
There might be a few problems with this.
Elaborate. Do you have a specific partner?
No, I don't, but it's possible.
Then I'm sure it won't be a problem. And you need to hurry up and turn in a report on your romantic history as well.
I've told you before, Yukimura. Tact is not your forte.
You little Himuro, stop beating me over the head with that thing! You're killing valuable brain cells!
How about you try using a few more of them?
What did you just
Are
say?
you out of your mind? Stop this right now!
Just calm down, okay?
Wait, please stop! Kanade, you're really hurting my arm! Ow! Please, my arm!
How about we all relax? This is the Ikeda Kashin Lab, an oasis of intelligence and inquiry. We always resolve things intelligently, calmly, and rationally here.
You're the most violent one of all of us.
Yukimura, you absolutely cannot force people to participate in your experiments.
Yeah, Prof. This experiment just doesn't make any sense.
Precisely! And that's why you need volunteers. I'd be happy to help if I may.
What did he just say?
Papers on the psychology of love, as far as I know, are largely based on questionnaires generally given to college students. In Japan, of course, there's a strong tendency not to conduct matters of love out in the open. Which is precisely why the data you collected by throwing yourselves into it is, from an academic standpoint, extremely valuable. And while it's true that it may not be an experiment that makes much sense, smashing common sense to smithereens is what we researchers do.
Got that loud and clear, Professor.
You can count on me to give everything I have to this project.
And you'll be a part of it too, Tarasuke. What do you think about that?
Why am I being forced into this, huh?
Very nice. An oasis of intelligence and inquiry, the Ikeda Kashin Laboratory. Crush common sense beneath your heel, then get out there and research whatever your heart desires.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'd say that just about wraps up today's meeting, I guess. This lab exists because of this particular professor. It seems like, normal people are a total minority in here. I'm probably gonna end up participating too. I just know it.
Where do you think you're going, Kosuke?
Yukimura, no?
Stop it, Ibarata! You're the one who said we should try this pairing, okay?
Well, what do you think about it now?
I'm sorry, Yukimura. I really respect you, but there's just no way I can... you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's rough for me too.
You're not the only ones it was rough on, but it was worth a try just to see what it was like. Watching the two of you paired up like that, yeah, it was pretty hysterical, but that's about it.
Why, you little...
So, just what are we supposed to derive from this experiment's data?
That we are unable to deny the possibility that you, Tarasuke, are in love with Yukimura.
Will you stop making it sound so weird? Are you out of your mind? Seriously. I mean, it's not like my heart rate is up. Well, I guess it is a little higher than my resting rate, but both my blood pressure and temperature stay the same.
Yeah, that part is a little weird when you come to think of it. For blood pressure, when you use something simple like this as opposed to medical equipment, the accuracy is seriously reduced. But it works okay as a reference point. Also, for this experiment, you put the thermometer under your arm, didn't you? When you take a temperature from under the arm, that's called an auxiliary temperature reading. It's the most stable place on the body to take the highest temperature. However, because of that, it's not suited for reading small changes in temperature. Emotion-related temperature fluctuations almost always occur in the tip of the nose. However, places like that are very susceptible to external stimuli. Honestly, a comfy room and thermographic measuring equipment would be best, but admittedly kind of hard to do in the middle of a date. Whatever, anyhow. It still wouldn't do you any good to deny the love between you and Yukimura today.
What are you, a friggin' witch? You can act as cocky as you want, but it won't last. Doing all the pairings means that eventually, you're gonna have to participate in the experiments just like us. And if only by chance you just happen to be in love with me, it'll be exposed in a flash.
Yeah, but no. And how about you? Are you sure your little heart won't go pitter-patter when it comes our turn?
Aika's the only woman in my heart. A woman like you doesn't even show up on my radar.
In that case, I have an idea. Let's try a close contact experiment and see whose vitals stay at base rates. Whoever loses has to treat the other to a full week's worth of skewered dongo from the co-op.
It's a deal. You think pairing up with you is gonna have any effect on my heart? I'm gonna bankrupt you, you pompous pipsqueak. Count on it.
We will now begin an experiment with the current pairing of Kanade and Yukimura. Kanade, would you please begin?
Aw, I'm so embarrassed.
Come on, do it.
Okay, I'll try. Here you go. Say
Why do I feel so funny about this? Kanade and Yukimura are nothing more than colleagues in an experiment, that's all.
It looks scrumptious. Huh? Himuro, this experiment is between Kanade and myself.
Yes, I'm very aware of that.
Yeah, why don't we try one more time? Here you go. Say
Himuro.
Kosuke, I've always wanted to do this, you know that?
So have I. Wait a sec, what is this? This is stupid. But I guess I have no choice. I have to find a way to raise her heart rate with this romantic crap. Huh? No way. Did she just call me Kosuke?
Kosuke, from here on out, I'm not going to stop myself from saying I love you ever again.
What the? Those are Aika's lines from when she confesses in the truant phase of Chapter 9. Stealing lines from that famous scene isn't playing fair, okay? Just calm down. She isn't Aika. All this woman does is lie around and game all day. She's a horrible manipulator who pushes people around, a demon trying to extort dango from me.
I love you, Kosuke.
Aika!
What a wimp. That was as easy as using a weapon the boss is weak against an M-man.
Total defeat. What a loser! And that woman, despite all her acting, managed to keep her numbers super normal. How the hell does she do that? Hey! Imitating Aika isn't playing fair. You're toying with my love for her.
Okay, that's fine. Should we trash that one and try it over again?
I can do this. As long as she doesn't imitate Aika, I've got this nailed. I am taking this round.
Being together like this brings back memories.
Oh.
Do you remember when we were little, Torosuke? A long time ago? The two of us. We used to hold each other like this. On the porch in your backyard. The sunlight felt so good. We both fell asleep like that. And without realizing it, you peed on me in your sleep. Do you remember that? Then in elementary school, when we thought I might move away, you started bawling, saying, "I'm gonna marry you, Enna. You can't leave. Please don't go, please."
You can stop now.
And in middle school, you played your first pretty girl dating game with me in my room. You remember?
You can stop now.
Remember then how you got so excited that you wet your...
Cut it out!
Ibarata, what are you doing with so many dongos in your room?
I had this weakling who decided to mistake recklessness for bravery get them for me. You guys want some? Go ahead.
You dreaded pipsqueak excuse for a woman!
Challenge to maintain vitals during close contact. Was that it?
Interesting. Those weren't the same conditions as our experiment.
Yeah, you're right. Handler was a bit more forced excitement to it as well.
In a lot of different ways, it looks like there's no one in this lab who can beat this person. Wow, look at that.
Himuro, Yukimura. Why don't the two of you try a bit of a kiss next time?
Kiss?